Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. I'm Nathalie Minnick. I'm a mom of 2 toddler boys. I share lots of cleaning motivation videos on here and everything else in everyday life. I'm so happy you're here and let's get started. Today's video, I am cleaning up our living room, our powder room, and our kitchen. I did not sleep very well last night. It's, as you can see, 5:53 in the morning. My youngest son kept waking up for some reason overnight. He usually doesn't. So I finally got him back to sleep around 4 a.m. and then my mind just starts racing when I wake up. So I just kept thinking of everything I needed to get done downstairs. Our house is just a disaster. So after tossing and turning for an hour and a half, I finally went downstairs around 5:30 and figured I'd do some cleaning. So I'm just showing you guys around right now, showing you guys our messes. Here's our powder room. We do a lot of swimming outside, so there's a swimsuit in here. And then I actually hang that out in our sunroom. I'll show you guys that later. But yeah, so I'm just going to start tackling this mess. So first thing I do when I get downstairs is I turn our air conditioner unit on and start getting that cooled off down here. We do turn our unit off every night just because we have one of these units in all the bedrooms. So we turn this one off at night and then in the morning we just turn it back on. So I'm just showing you guys here that it came up to 76 overnight. So I just set it then to anywhere between 71 and 73 for during the day. Now let's get into some cleaning. So I always start off with the couches. I feel like it's just so nice when there's so much to do in a room and I could just stop and look around and look like something and see something accomplished. So that's why I always start off with the couches. So then whenever I'm doing something and I'm like, oh my God, this is never going to end, I can look around and be like, all right, no, that's done. Okay, those are done. That's done. And then I start calming down again. So that's why I always start with something that is noticeably changing and looks like I cleaned it and organized it and stuff. So that's why it's always just easy for me to start with the couches because it's quick and simple to fluff up some pillows and fold a blanket. So this video was recorded a couple weeks ago. I knew we were heading away. We were going out of town. We were going on vacation to go visit my grandparents and my dad in Canada. So we were going to be away for the week and I want to make sure I had a video for you guys. But I wanted just to share a little bit of our trip from Canada. We had such a good time. It was my grandfather's 81st birthday. So we went up to go spend the week with him and just hang out. I used to do that quite a bit when I was younger. In the summers, I would go do spring break with my grandparents. So it was nice to see them again for a week and just kind of spend some time with them. So we did that and then we were supposed to come home Sunday early morning. We were going to leave at 5, 6 a.m. But my grandfather had a birthday party that Saturday and the kids were exhausted and my husband and I were like, I wonder if we should just leave tonight and then we have all day tomorrow, which would have been Sunday, to unpack and just get back in routine and all that. And the kids should sleep through the whole car ride because they were running around all day. Well, that did not work out very well. My son fell asleep 10 minutes before we stopped for coffee, and it was just not a good car drive home. But we tried it, and now we know we just need to keep him awake until after we get coffee. But overall, it was a really good trip, and we just really had a lot of fun. Anyway, so back to cleaning. I'm just straightening up the couches here. Like I said, I'm just going through these blankets and I saw all these stains on here. So I'm just going to try to show you guys them. You can see some of them a little bit with the light. But I figured might as well just throw these in the laundry and get these all washed and have them nice and clean. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then continue on to organizing and straightening up this living room. Usually I have the kids help me pick up the toys and clean everything up, but there's some days where when it's almost bedtime and everyone's cranky, I just am like, let's just go upstairs. Let's get our baths. Let's calm down, read some books, and I'll just worry about the living room later. And the night before this must have been one of those nights. I can't quite remember, but it must have been one of those nights where I was like, yep, we're just going upstairs and I will deal with this mess tomorrow. So I'm going to just clean this all up, get this straightened up, because I really wanted to get our floors mopped here because I haven't done that for quite some time. And I figured I might as well just do a deep cleaning in here with all the dusting, wiping down all the surfaces and stuff, since nobody's awake and no one's in my way to do so. I feel like I never get to clean by myself. It's either super early in the morning, like now when they're still sleeping, or it's like after they go to bed. But I definitely got lazy in my routine of cleaning before bedtime. I'll get the dishes done and make sure. My husband helps a lot with that. He usually does most of the dishes at night. I'll kind of get them in the dishwasher after dinner, but then there's some left over and he'll clean those up. But dishes and stuff, I try to make sure I always have done so I can run my dishwasher. But other than that, like all the toys and cleaning up the like counters and stuff, like with all the mail and stuff, I definitely started getting lackadaisy on that. So I want to get better at getting that stuff done because it's really starting to get overwhelming with everything in this house. Now that all the toys are picked up, I'm just going to go through and dust everything off. So I love this Swiffer here. It's nice because you kind of just use this until it gets dusty, the Swiffer head, and then I just throw that out and then you have a new one. I am not a fan of just buying a new thing each time or those ones that you can wash. I don't really like those, so I really like this one. And then this extends too, so I can do the walls and the ceiling and higher lights and everything I can do with this Swiffer because it extends. So I don't have my couch blockers, which I usually have a blanket under the couch. If you've seen in my previous videos, I bought a few different products to try block the toys under the couch, but they weren't sticking to my couch, I guess because I have the carpet there. So I had an epiphany and I was like, why don't I just roll a blanket or a towel and it would work perfect. And that's what I did, and it has been a game changer. Anyways, I don't have that there right now. I washed that blanket, so I have to get that back under there. But look at all this stuff that came from under my couch. It's just bizarre to me how much stuff ends up under our couch when I don't have the blanket or the towel rolled up under there. And then I feel like this couch is the opposite. So I have the towel under here, but because the other couch, there's carpet under it more so, that the blanket is able to stay more in place, where this one I don't have as much carpet under there, so the towel isn't sitting on carpet, it's sitting on the hard floor, so it kind of gradually gets pushed back further and further. But it's still working, it's still blocking the toys, so I definitely like keeping that in place. I just have to be more mindful of remembering to make sure I take a peek every once in a while to make sure it's not getting pushed back too much. Now that I'm done dusting everything, I like to go through and wipe everything down with a multi-purpose cleaner. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and it just helps with all the fingerprints, stickiness, and all that fun stuff with having kids. Also, in my opinion, I feel like when I don't wipe down with a multi-surface cleaner after a while, some areas start getting this weird texture where like the dust will kind of sit on there and it's like a little bit harder to get the dust off. So I do like just spraying everything down with a multi-surface cleaner just to make it easier for cleaning later on. I just don't know how to call that. I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying to say. Like for your baseboards, you know how sometimes it could be really easy to wipe down your baseboards if you dust them more frequently, whereas other times like you kind of have to wipe them a little extra just to kind of get the dust off. Whatever that is, I feel like because I wipe down everything more frequently, it's just easier to clean. I got this wreath from Hobby Lobby last year and it's super cute, but it makes such a big mess. You can see all like the little petals everywhere. So it was like a fake one, and I think this is kind of the last summer for it. But anyways, I'm just showing you around. I really need to get this carpet vacuumed, and I need to do a carpet shampooing sooner than later. But right now I'm just showing you guys all the mess, all the crumbs, all the who knows what, all the dirt all over the floor between popcorn, snacks. This bin right here sheds a lot, this basket, and the wreath from the door, all those petals. There's just so much to pick up with this vacuum. So I'm going to go ahead and vacuum everything, and then I am going to take my vacuum mop and go through that as well. And I like to just vacuum first. I know my vacuum mop vacuums as well, but the floors just need so much attention right now that I'm just going to vacuum, get a lot of the bigger pieces, and then, you know, it's not going to be perfect, which is fine because I'm going to go through with my vacuum mop and that will pick up everything else. But like I said, these floors are just really bad that I just really wanted to give the mop vacuum a good chance to really get those floors mopped and clean as well. The vacuum was completely empty when I started, and as you can see, there was quite a bit of dirt and dust, a tissue apparently I sucked up here, and popcorn and food. So I'm glad I did this first just to get a lot of this out of the way before getting my vacuum mop out to do. So I just feel like it kind of helps get everything a little bit more cleaner when I do this way. And no one was up, so it was like I had time to do it and no little feet running around me. So that was another reason why I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do both today. Now I am going to go ahead and start getting our vacuum mop set up. So this is the solution it came with. I'm just going to do 1 capful. If you like the smell of it, go ahead and throw 2 capfuls in there. But it's 1 capful for, there's a line for how much water you put in it. Now I like to do hot water. I just feel like it just cleans better. I feel like it gives a little bit of a disinfect. Okay, it's one of those days. So it kind of just helps disinfect a little bit with the hot water. So that's why I like to do the hot water, but either way is fine. For this specific mop, there is a trigger that you can hold on to, which allows for more water to come out. Now, I just like that option. I just feel like it helps clean my floors a little bit more. Again, I don't have any of the kids or my husband down here or the dog down here right now. So I'm going to just take these extra little steps here and give it a really good cleaning. So I am holding the trigger, and as you can see, the water marks there on the floor, you can see that it is just releasing a little bit more water than usual. Now, I've never done this on the carpet, but I figured why not? Let me see, just give it a little vacuum, and then if there's any surface stains, I figured maybe that will help get them up, but I didn't really notice anything for that difference wise, but I figured I'd give it a try anyways and just see how it did. And here you can see how dirty our floors was. This was just from the living room. The carpets and the floor just in there. Didn't even do the kitchen yet. Didn't do the bathroom yet. Sorry, this toilet needs to get cleaned still. But yeah, that is how dirty our floors were. So I'm glad I did the vacuuming beforehand, and so there wasn't all that extra gunk in there. And there we have it, a nice clean living room. Yay! So everything's dusted, wiped down, everything's vacuumed and mopped. So this was so nice to be able to get this done and clean, and it's not going to last long because the family's going to be waking up, I'm sure, soon. So, but hey, at least it's clean for now, and I get to stare at it for a little bit here. Now I am going to start tackling this island and our kitchen. So our kitchen table ends up being our catch-all table for everything. It's awful, especially when I have it like this and then it's dinner time and you have to move everything off to have room for all of us to sit down and eat. So I really need to get better at not making this our catch-all area. But anyways, that's for another day. So I'm going to start off and get this island done and get that cleared off, and then just slowly work my way around the kitchen here. Next up, I'm going to just wipe down the counters and the tray here and just line everything up at the end, the remote, my glasses, etc., and just have that all straightened out. I just had to share this. So I'm 2 years behind, but every year I make a family album of the year, and we just got ours in. So I was like pretty excited about that. So yeah, every year I just go through every month of the year and just grab a few photos from each month or vacations or whatever and throw them in a book. And it's just nice to have a yearbook for pictures, because otherwise I don't really print out any of the pictures. So I like to do that every year, but like I said, I'm a few years behind, but I was excited that I was able to finally get that one done. When we got back from the beach house, we had the 3 drawers here, and I wasn't sure what to do with them, but then I decided to do summer drawers. So I have the first drawer with summer hats, their glasses, goggles, etc. Then I have extra towels, swimsuits, and then swim diapers and stuff in the last one. And it's just been so handy all summer long. And then this is just my summer bag to go out back. And then I can just throw water bottles in there, some snacks. I can grab their sunglasses, their hats, sunscreen, whatever. I like to just have a bag where I can bring out back with us, because you do have to go up and down the stairs, and I don't want to have to drag the kids every time inside with me to go grab something if we forget it. So I'd like to just have a bag where I can throw everything in there and have everything out there for what we possibly could use in the next hour or two. So I'm just going to finish going through this and finding some homes. I have quite a few things that are trash, and I have quite a bit of mail on this table as well. So I'm just going to go through and get trash put away and mail into a pile and just kind of get this a little bit more organized. By the way, this splash pad is awesome. I got it at Costco. I think I saw you can get it at like Walmart or Amazon, but it's almost double the price there. But it's 11 feet wide, so it's a little big for our backyard, and our backyard isn't super flat. So it wasn't really working quite right in our yard, but it's great for traveling because my mother-in-law, my grandfather, my mom, they all have flat yards, so it actually would work perfectly in their yards. So it's kind of just nice to have with us to bring along if we're ever somewhere for the day. So it's definitely worth getting, especially if you have the yard space, and bonus if it's flat yards. So check them out. Your kids will love it. Next up, I'm just getting our swimming bag back in shape here, just adding some diapers and stuff to it and getting that ready for my son's swim lessons. Lastly, I'm just going to spray down the kitchen table with some multi-purpose cleaner and get these all wiped up and cleaned. A big thing for these booster seats here is they get really dirty underneath. So I really try to make sure I shake out the chair and wipe them off, because there's so many crumbs that somehow gather under their seat. I don't know how that happens, because they're eating, and I don't know if they're kicking the crumbs under their seats. I'm not sure, but that's like a big thing. Every time I lift one of these chairs off, or booster seats off, there's so many crumbs under there. But I have these because they're great for travel. So when we go anywhere, I just, unbuckle them and I just bring them with us, and it's just so nice. They actually have trays on them, and it's just so nice for traveling and then also for here at home. So I did a rearrange with me in our kitchen a few months ago on adding this toaster oven to our kitchen. And I just want to say how much I love this thing. It's so nice. We rarely use our big oven anymore, and we just use this thing nonstop. So it's for toast. We make pizza in there. I make chicken there. I make anything in there, really. Cookies I baked in there already. And it's just so nice having it. Good morning.
Good morning.
You got your treats on?
Yeah.
Mwah.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Ooh, I just love his little voice. It's so cute. All right. So obviously the husband and the kids are up now. So I'm going to try to finish this kitchen and tackle this project and get this done before I make everybody breakfast. I'm just going to go through and wipe everything down with some multi-purpose cleaner. And then after I wipe down the counters and I wipe everything down with multi-surface cleaner, I'll go through and wipe anything that's stainless steel that needs a little extra loving. I'll spray that down and wipe that down with some stainless steel cleaner to get any streaks out and stuff. So, but right now I'm just going through and wiping everything with the multi-purpose cleaner. For my stove here as well, I'll just remove all the grates and I'll spray this down and kind of let it soak in a little bit, and then I'll just wipe it all down, and it usually just comes off really easily. But I also do have a cleaning sponge where I would go through and use that to get anything that's a little tougher that isn't just going to come off with a wipe. So I do use a cleaning sponge as well if there's any tough spots. I also have used my dish sponge, but I just make sure I use like dish soap when I do that, just so I'm not mixing chemicals on to the sponge that I'm cleaning my dishes with. But usually I try to use a cleaning sponge when I do something like this. I'm just going to give our fruit bowl here a rinse out. We have bananas and a spaghetti squash that was in there. So I just want to make sure that's staying nice and clean and no buggies are forming in there. Next up, I'm going to empty out the dishwasher. So I'm just going to put all these dishes away and get that all ready to load up the dishes that are in the sink since we ended up not doing the dishes last night. The kids were playing really nicely, so my husband's actually going to jump in and help me get some of these dishes put away, which was so nice. And he's also jumping in and helping load up the dishwasher with all the dirty dishes while I set up a racetrack for my son. So we're tag teaming right now, trying to get this done so I can get breakfast made. Now that we have all the dishes out of the sink, I'm going to finish up this counter side. I usually just wait just because we're constantly putting things in the dishwasher and the water, dirty water is dripping on it. So I like to just wait to do this side of the counter until I'm done loading up a dishwasher. So that's why I'm wiping that down now. And if you guys have this grass thing for baby bottles and stuff or kids cups, and your counters are getting discolored from water underneath it, water pooling underneath, use medicine cups. I use that. I make sure it's nice and dry. Then I put the medicine cups there and I put the grass here on top, and it works amazing to not have your counters get stained from the water. Next up, I'm just going to use some stainless steel cleaner and wipe down the appliances. Usually it's our dishwasher here that gets it really bad just from all the water stains, and then our stove from cooking. Our fridge has, this is so bad. We've had this fridge for probably 2 years now, maybe 3 years, and it had the plastic coat thing on it. And like that little sticker, the plastic sticker, but you can't really tell it's on there. So we actually just kept it on there, and it just is so much easier to clean because you could just use the cloth with multi-purpose cleaner and it just wipes right up. So we actually just left that on there just to make it a little easier for ourselves. But there is spots that it's starting to peel, so we'll probably have to take it off sooner than later. But it definitely has worked for the last couple of years for us. Our sink is discolored so bad, so I'm going to actually take some pink stuff and scrub this kitchen sink a little bit and just get this shining again. I don't know what it is about cleaning my kitchen sink, but it is so satisfying, especially when I take out the pink stuff and, you know, really give it a good scrub. And you can just see, I tried doing a little side by side here. As you can see, the left versus the right, how much cleaner it looks. It's just so satisfying to me once I clean my kitchen sink. Cleaning the grates is always the toughest part. It just rips up my sponge quite a bit. I have put the grate in the dishwasher as well, but it just really doesn't get that clean. So I usually just do the sponge, and, you know, I end up just getting a new sponge when I need to. But it's just so much easier doing it with the sponge because I just feel like it gets all the nooks and crannies of the grate here. I like to give our trash can a wipe down as well. Just get all those fingerprints, food spills, whatever off of there, and just get this looking nice as well. So I do wipe that down. Lastly, I'm just going to go through the powder room here. I'll give everything a dusting, wipe it all down, all the surfaces down, clean the toilet, and then I'm going to be doing the floors for the kitchen and the bath. So just like the living room, I'm going to go through with the vacuum first. I haven't done the floors in quite a while, so I really want to make sure when I'm mopping them with the vacuum mop that they're really getting a good cleaning. So I just wanted to go through the floors with the vacuum first to get a lot of the crumbs up before using the mop vacuum. So I forgot to put the vacuum mop on the charger after doing the living room floors. So it did die on me halfway through, but I put it on the charger and I am just getting some fresh water here. And I'm also going to show you guys, I dumped the water that was in there from the rest of the living room and the half of the kitchen there. And as you can see here, it's just so gross, the water. So I'm glad I'm starting off with some fresh water there to finish up these floors. And there you have it. There is a clean bathroom, a clean kitchen, and a clean living room, which are definitely not going to last long, but at least I know everything's nice and clean now. Thank you everyone so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, got some cleaning tips and tricks, and most of all, some cleaning motivation today. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, if you can subscribe to my channel. All right, everyone. Until next time. See ya.